Okay, I went through my stash and I got out everything I possibly could use. I've got lace, I've got trims, I've got ribbons, I've got flowers. I have just a bunch of things that that I want to use on putting this album together. But let's just get started. And of course, all the materials will be in the materials list that I did eventually end up using. But let me show you what I'm going to be doing to the front right now. I have this trim. This trim is 4 inches wide, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to be putting it on the edge of the album right here. Half of it's going to go on the front, and the other half is going to wrap around to the back. And I'm going to do that to the front, and I'm going to do that to the back. So all I need to do is measure out the length that I need. I'm going to cut it, and then I'm just going to glue these down. And when you glue, let me show you in case you go ahead and do yours. You want your album, it'll probably be better if your album is kind of like up like this. Put your glue down here. Take your trim and glue that part down. And then you're going to want to tack these down too so they're not moving. And then with it up, leave it, and then you can tack this side down. And you need to do it with the album up. Don't lay your album flat to do this. It needs to be in this position when you do that. So I'm going to go ahead and glue my pieces down, and then I'll show you what mine looks like. Okay, I have the lace on, and this is what it looks like. Turned out real pretty. And what I'm going to do here is I will be placing one of these here, but I'm not going to be placing it on now. I'm going to let her pick out what picture she wants behind here. And so this will be put on later after she receives this and she lets me know what she wants to put here. But that's going to go on the back up here with the picture that she wants. So I'm not going to be doing that now. So the next thing we need to do is this is going to be closed with the Dritz large hook and eye, and that's what I'm going to do here. They look, I think I might have put them away, but this is what they look like. I've used these many times in my tutorials, so you're probably familiar with those. And the one we're going to put on right now is this one right here. And that's just going to get attached on the side like this, and then the little hook part is going to go in, and that's what's going to hold the album closed. But the hook part, we don't do that until last, because we don't know how tight to make the album yet until we have everything, all the embellishments inside. So I'm going to glue this down. I'm just going to measure in the mid, get the center, and just put this in the center. And when I do that, you just need to make sure that you don't go too far in, because you need to make sure you have enough room to get this in and out. So sometimes you can just keep this on and then find out where you need to go, and then you can glue it and then just take this off. And then you're just going to want to clamp it down, because it's going to take a few minutes for that to really totally set on there so it doesn't move. So let me go ahead and do that, and then we'll start what we're going to be doing here with the flowers and the pictures and things like that. And one other thing real quick. Make sure you're not upside down with your album. So open it up, make sure you're going the right way before you attach your clip on the end, so you're not accidentally upside down. Okay. And you probably know how to do this, but how to find the center, I just have this ruler here. It's the Tim Holtz ruler and I just find the center, because I know this is 8 across, so it's 4 and 4 here. Oh, let me see if I'm in shot here. So it's 4 and 4. I'm on 4, and then over here I'm on 4, so I know the center's right here. I just make a little teeny mark with the pencil, and that way I know that that's the center, and then I can place this right there in the center, and that's what I'm going to do. Okay, I have it attached. I just have it propped up with some lace trims just to hold that up while I'm working right here. Now for the cover, what I plan on doing is I have this piece right here. This is what, I've been using this one. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to be using that for the center here. And this is the picture that I'm going to be putting in here. The only thing is, I'm just going to be tacking this frame maybe 3 little places on the side here, so that, and I'm going to slide this in, and that's just going to be sitting in there just so that the album has a pretty picture when she gets it. What she's going to do is she's just going to take that out and then cut it with one of these little templates and then put her picture in. And she'll just slide her picture in, and then she'll just glue down the rest of the frame so it's nice and, you know, glued on flat so nothing moves. But to give her the album, I'm just going to tack it down a little bit here, cut this one down, slide it under so that she'll get that. This is that picture there. So it's going to look like that. So that's pretty. And then I can decorate with some flowers. So let me cut this down to size and get this tacked on a little bit, and we'll go from there. Okay, I got my frame. Not all the way cement, you know, glued on, just a little bit on the bottom there. And now all we need to do, or have to do, is just take our picture and just slide it in there. And it can just stay just like that for now, so that she has a little picture on the front of her album. And we can still decorate. I just need to make sure I don't go put any glue over onto that part of the frame. I have to definitely stay on the outside of the frame. Can't go past the border. So that's what we need to do now. So let me go through my flowers, and let's pick out some flowers to start putting some flowers on the album. Started playing around with my flowers. Now, putting the flowers on the cover of my album is going to take a while to do that. So instead of me going over each thing that I put on, because I'm not sure how I'm going to do it yet, I'm going to go ahead and just play with my flowers and get an arrangement going on and get it all glued on, and then I'll just show you what I came up with, because I don't know what flowers you have and anything like that, because these are not specific. I don't know. I couldn't even tell you where some of these flowers came from, because I just keep them in little bags with no names. And so anyway, I'm going to go ahead and make a nice little arrangement down here on my frame and staying away from the inside so a picture can go in there. And then I'll just show you how my arrangement turned out. Okay, this is what I've got so far. So this is what I've done so far. These turned out really pretty. So that's what we have so far. So what I want to do on the, I'm going to set that up like that. On the trim here, is I have this real small beaded trim. It's a flat back beaded trim. It's real tiny. And what I want to do is I'm going to just glue a strip right up like that. I want to do that for right here. So let me go ahead and do that, and I'll also do it on the back. Yeah, I opened my book flat to do that. It was just easy for me to do that. So I've got those setting up. So what I want to do now, what I've decided I want to do, I have these little 5/16. They're fancy flat back pearls. I believe I bought these at Dana's Hobbies and Crafts. And we are going to, well, with mine anyway, what I'm going to do, since my lace in each center of each one of these is a little flower, I am actually going to just glue one of these little pearls on the top of each one of these little flowers. And I'm going to do it for the front and the back, and I'm also going to do it for the flowers on the spine. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and then I'll show you how it turned out. Okay, this is how it is with all the, this is really pretty. So that's how that's going to look. Very, very pretty. Now, what I have, because I'm going to have to lay it back down, is I have these little resin corners that, in fact I want to use the big ones, that were made for me by Karen Dabney. And what I want to do, so I'm going to have to lay this back down, is I think I want to put those in the corner. And I'll do that on all 4 corners. I think that looks really pretty. It was either this one, I have this size, and then I have the little teeny size. But I think, I kind of like the bigger size better. So I'm going to go ahead and put those down. So let me do that and I'll show you how it turned out. Okay, I have two of the four corners on. One of the corners wasn't laying all the way flat. So I got a hold of Karen and asked her if she could please make me some more. And she said she would if you could find her mold, which I'm sure she will. And then I'll put two on the back. Right now I just have the two for the front. Just in case she can't find her mold, I don't want to have like three on my album. So worst case scenario would be I just have the two and not any on the back, which is no big deal. So what I'm thinking that I might be doing later on, once her name is Bridget, once she has her picture in here, is maybe I can go around with some flat back pearls around the frame, or even some bling on a roll and go through. But I have to wait until her picture is in here before I do that, because there's little holes through here, and you know the glue will go right through those holes and stick to this, and then that would be a big mess. So I'll wait until she has her picture in, and if she wants some pearls or some bling on the roll to go around the frame, I'll do that at that time. Now to cover up the little drits, I have this piece right here, and I did buy this at J&S Hobbies and Crafts, and I punched out a 1/2 inch circle punch to put on the back because it indents a little bit too much there. And I am just going to actually glue that on right on top of that little eye of the drit's eye right here. And I will use art glitter glue to do that, a little stronger glue. So I will do that, and then I just need to let everything really set up and all the glue get hard, and then we'll start decorating on the inside. Okay, this is how it's going to be. It's pretty much set. So the cover is pretty much the way it's going to be right now, like this. But I do have these really beautiful butterflies. They're called Darling Arts by Valerie, and this is the information where you can get these. And they're actually called Majestic Wedding. So I was thinking about taking one of these and putting it on here, but I'm going to wait until after I finish embellishing the inside of the album first. So let's start working on the inside. Okay, for page 1, I was thinking of taking, I have some cotton trim, looks like this. I was thinking of running a piece across this upper flip, and then I have some little green leaves, putting them there with a little pink flower like that, and do the exact same thing over on this pocket over here. I'll show you. I'll just take some more of the trim, some little leaves, and then a little pink flower, so it will look like that on the outside. And then on the inside, I want to leave those the same, but I was thinking of, let me open this, on this right here, either placing this Chinese braid trim across or the bling on the roll. That I haven't decided yet if I'm going to do that one or this one, so I'm still going to work on that. So let me work on getting these together, and then I'll show you what mine looks like. Okay, this is how I've done page 1. So we have the flip. I put the lace with the bling, and then the flower, and then I put a little bow with the little flat pack pearl I stuck in the center of it like that, with some more lace and some more bling on the top. And then it flips up, and I just put some more lace and bling there on that one. The bottom one, I didn't really do anything on the bottom one. And then on this page, I got some lace with some bling and a little flower. And this opens. And then I decided to put the bling on the roll across the pocket. And then I have a little cluster of flowers in the corner there. And then on this side, I just put some lace trim and then some bling over here. And that's all I'm going to do as of right now on this page. So page 1 is finished as far as that goes. I have this propped up a little bit. So now I'm going to move over to page 2. So I'm just going to just decorate it with lace, trims, flowers, and then I'll show you what I've come up with. So let me go ahead and do that, and then I'll show you page 2. Page 2 is, I decorated basically pretty simple. I just have some cotton trim, some of the bling on the roll, flower. That's all I did here. And then cotton trim, bling on a roll, cotton trim, bling on a roll. And that's basically all I did for that one right now. So that one's kind of like done. I'm not going to put any more embellishments on this page right now. So now I'm going to go over to page 3, and I think on page 3 I'm going to just add some more of these little corners on this page, and then I'll start on that page. So let me go ahead and add these corners, and I'll show you how it turned out. Okay, this is how this turned out. It turned out really nice. I was able to do that really, really nice, and a picture will fit up under these corners nicely. You can either put a couple of little ones, or you can do one big one. Will fit right up in there like that. So that's page is complete. So now we're going to move over to the waterfall page. And what I plan on doing here is I actually saw a Shelley Geigel who do this on one of her tutorials, and I thought that was a really neat idea. I have this lace trim that I received from Shonda, who is Slim Cards here on YouTube. We did a swap a while back, and she sent me a whole roll of this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut a piece to go up that, that attachment, and then I have these real teeny tiny flowers, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut one and put a little flower right at the bottom of each of the leaves going up the latch here. So let me go ahead and do that, and I'll show you what it looks like. But also when I do that, see all these little holes? I have a little piece of paper that I'm going to stick under there so I don't glue everything closed. And I'll just do that, and I'll show you what it looks like when I have it finished. And here's how page 4 turned out. What I ended up doing is, because everything was just too white for me, is I put a little green on the tips of the leaves, and I used Forest Moss, Tim Holtz ink, Distress ink, Forest Moss, and on the little white flowers I just put a little bit of, I think it's called spun sugar, and that's what I did on those, just because everything was just too white and I needed some color. So that's what I did for those. So that turned out really pretty. And then inside I just put a strip of the little trim that I have that looks like this. I put it between each of the waterfalls there. So that's what that. So that one. So page 4 is done. So now we need to move on to page 5 and 6. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with these 2 pages yet. So I might skip over these and go over to this page here for now. I decided to go ahead and work on these 2 pages. So what I did is I just added some flat back pearls to the tops. So when they're still setting up, I don't want to pull it. So you can have something to grab a hold of to pull this out when you want to put your picture on this here. And then I just added some flowers in the corners. Just a couple of roses. I just put, some in the little corners. So that's probably will be all I do for this page for now, until she has her pictures in there. Then if I want to put some bling around the frame, I can do that, because I want to wait, because with the holes here, I don't want to glue anything down until, the permanent pictures are in. So let's go to the next page. And here's how this page is. Let me just set this up a little bit. I just put some of the cotton trim with the bling on the roll, some leaves and a little flower. Go ahead and open it. Some more lace trim, some bling, and some more flowers and rosebuds for that one. And on the side here, over here, we have some lace with some more bling on the roll. And this one, some cotton trim, some bling on the roll, and some flowers and some rosebuds. So that's how that one's going to be. So that's this page. And this page over here, I'm going to leave just the way it is. I was thinking maybe putting some kind of flat back pearls or something in these little corners here, but I'm not 100% sure quite yet if I want to do that. So now we just need to go to this page right here and this page right here. I'll go ahead and decorate both of these, and then I'll show you what I come up with.